My fiancé cheated. I broke up with her. Then my own mother shamed me, until we found out her darkest secret. I thought calling off the engagement would be the hardest part. But the real heartbreak came after, when my own family turned against me. This is the story of how my fiancé betrayed me. And how my mother's judgmental response led to the unraveling of a secret she'd kept for 30 years. One that destroyed my parents' marriage, and left us all questioning everything. Let's call her Rachel. We met at 19, during a freshman orientation scavenger hunt. I was the awkward guy trying to be funny. She was the confident one in red Converse and a 1,000-watt smile. She laughed at my jokes, gave me her number, and that was it. 5 years later, we were engaged. I thought we were solid. We'd been through long-distance stints, money problems, family drama. And we came out stronger each time, or so I thought. 3 months before our wedding, things began to shift. It was subtle at first, fewer texts, less enthusiasm about planning. Rachel started working late. Said her team was prepping for a product launch. I didn't think much of it. I trusted her. Blindly, maybe. Then something happened that didn't feel small. One night, Rachel came home from work and headed straight to the shower. Her phone buzzed on the counter. I glanced over. A name popped up, Liam, fire emoji. I'd never seen that name before. I didn't check the message. I didn't want to be that guy. But something in me twisted. The next morning, I did something I never thought I'd do. I asked her, "Who's Liam?" She paused, too long. Then smiled. "Oh, just someone from work. We've been on a few projects together. He's harmless." Harmless. That word clung to me like smoke. A week later, I found out the truth. Not from her. But from a friend of mine, let's call him Mike, who happened to be at a rooftop bar downtown. He sent me a blurry photo around midnight. "Dude. Is this Rachel?" In the picture, Rachel was sitting at a high-top table, laughing, leaning in close to a guy who clearly wasn't just a coworker. Liam. His hand was on her thigh. My stomach dropped. I didn't confront her that night. I waited. I watched. Over the next few days, I paid attention to every excuse. Every lie. Every "I'm so tired and we had to stay late." She was unraveling, and didn't even know it. So I made a plan. The following Friday, I told Rachel I was working late. Instead, I parked 2 blocks from her office and waited. She left the building around 6:40 p.m. and sure enough, Liam was with her. They didn't even try to hide it. She laughed, grabbed his hand. They walked into a restaurant like they were on a date. Not engaged. Not about to get married in 3 months. I didn't make a scene. I went home. When she returned that night, I was waiting in the living room. She looked surprised. "You're home early." I didn't speak. I just turned my phone toward her, the photo Mike had sent, now printed and on the coffee table. She stared at it. Her face changed, not to shock, but to fear. "I can explain," she started. I stood up. "You don't need to. The wedding's off. You can sleep here tonight if you want, but tomorrow, I want you gone." And I walked upstairs. She cried. Begged. Said it wasn't serious. That she was just confused. I didn't care. That night, I cried harder than I ever had. But not because of her. Because everything I believed in, the future we'd built, the trust I gave freely, was shattered. I expected pain. I didn't expect betrayal from my own family. The next morning, I called my mom, let's call her Diane. Told her what happened. She went quiet. Then said, "You're overreacting, Aaron. These things happen. Don't throw away a good woman over one mistake." One mistake? She's been lying to me for weeks. Seeing someone else. Well. Relationships aren't black and white. Maybe you pushed her away. I was stunned. She cheated, I repeated. But Diane doubled down. Said forgiveness was more important than pride. That I was being cold. That men need to fight for love, not run at the first sign of trouble. The worst part? My sisters, let's call them Megan and Emma, agreed with her. "Come on, bro," Megan said. "You two were perfect together. Don't blow it up over a fling." Emma chimed in, "You're not exactly Mr. Romantic." Maybe she felt neglected. I couldn't believe it. The people who were supposed to support me were shaming me instead. And then came the ambush. Rachel called my mom behind my back. Apparently they'd been talking. Bonding, even. My mom said Rachel reminded her of herself when she was younger. I got a text, "Come by the house. We need to talk, all of us. Something important." I thought maybe my mom had come around. Instead, I walked into their living room and found Rachel sitting on the couch. My mom smiled like this was normal. We wanted to have a little heart to heart. Rachel looked at me, watery-eyed. Please, Aaron. I messed up, but I love you. I turned to my mom. Are you serious? Diane stood there, arms crossed. She made a mistake. Don't throw away your future over one moment of weakness. Rachel added, I've been talking to your mom because I wanted to understand you better. I want to make this work. It was surreal. Like walking into a stage play where everyone but you had the script. I said nothing. Just turned and left. Rachel chased me to the door. Don't give up on us, she begged. I looked her dead in the eyes. I didn't give up. You did, the moment you chose him. If you're still listening, thank you. If this story hits close to home, if you've ever been betrayed by the people who should have stood by you, you're not alone. And if it's resonating, consider subscribing. I was done. With her. With the games. And with the people trying to gaslight me into believing I was the villain. Then. Something unexpected happened. My dad, let's call him Alan, showed up. A quiet man. The kind who speaks once, and you remember it forever. He arrived unannounced. 6-pack of beer. We sat in silence on my porch. Then he said something I'll never forget. I'm proud of you. That single sentence cracked something open. I should have left too, he added. He told me everything. Turns out, Diane had cheated on him during their 5th year of marriage. It was with a man she met at work. She told Alan it was just emotional, but it had gone further. He found out. She begged him to stay. He stayed. For the family. For appearances. But he never forgave her. She made me the villain, he said. Told your sisters I was cold. That I shut her out. He looked at me, eyes heavy. When you told her about Rachel, it reminded her of herself. And she panicked. That's why she turned on you. The explosion came a week later. I lost it during another one of Emma's guilt trips. You want to know why Mom's defending Rachel? I snapped. Because she did the same thing. Megan said I was lying. So I told them to ask her. And they did. That Sunday. At dinner. Diane tried to deny it at first. Said Alan was confused, twisting the past. But when Alan stood and said, tell them about Steve. 1999. That hotel in Boston, her face drained of color. Emma started crying. Megan stood up and left. Diane tried to recover. Said it was complicated. That it didn't mean anything. That families stay together no matter what. But it was over. Alan filed for divorce the next day. 30 years, done in a signature. He told me later it was the first time he felt free in decades. As for Rachel? She tried again. Sent a long letter. Said she missed me. That no one would ever love her the way I did. She was right. Because I'd never love her again. She made a choice. And I finally had the strength to make mine. This is the story of how my fiancé betrayed me, and how my mother's judgment exposed her own. And how, for the first time, I walked away from both. Sometimes healing begins not with forgiveness, but with walking away from those who taught you that your pain was inconvenient. If you've ever been made to feel guilty for setting a boundary, or for saying enough, let this be your reminder. You don't owe your silence to anyone's shame. If you made it to the end, thanks for sticking with it. If you want more stories like this, real, raw, and a little messy, consider subscribing. There's more where that came from.